You are not exhausted from your life. You are exhausted from carrying 9 versions of it in your head at the same time. And most of them are not even yours. You cleaned the apartment. You unsubscribed from the emails. The moment you sit down, your mind is still loud. The Japanese called this the wrong kind of clean. The Zen monks had a word for the right kind: soji, and 9 specific things they refused to keep in mind. Ayako Tanaka, a graphic designer in Tokyo, had the cleanest apartment her friends had ever seen. White walls, empty surfaces, but she could not sleep. When she visited her grandmother in a rural village, the older woman watched her for a long moment. "You cleaned the wrong room." In the Zen tradition, soji, the daily cleaning of the temple, was never only about the floor. The monks understood that cleaning the space and cleaning the mind were the same practice. Most decluttering asks what you can throw away. Soji asks what you can stop bringing in. Here are the 9 things people who practice soji of the mind refuse to keep. The first thing they refuse to keep: the open tab. Small irritations from the day, kept running in the background. Small annoyances do not drain you because they are large. They drain you because you keep them open. 3 hours after it happened, the irritation is still running while you eat dinner. The mind treats unresolved irritation like a browser tab, quietly costing energy you do not notice. When you catch one still running hours later, name it. Close the tab. That one is the easiest to close. The next has been open for years. The second is older and harder. The sealed letter. Old grievances kept warm. You hold on to something. Letters, an old conversation, a story you replay. From someone who hurt you years ago. You don't open it. You don't let it go. Every few months you remember it exists, and your chest tightens. Old slights are not preserved by accident. The mind keeps them sealed because to open them would mean either forgiving or grieving. Most people do neither. So it stays where it is, weighing exactly what it always did. Pick one old grievance. Forgive it, grieve it, or admit it still affects you. That handles what you carry from before. The next runs in real time. The third, the silent scoreboard, ranking yourself against everyone you encounter. If you walk into a room and within 3 seconds have placed yourself in it, better than some, worse than others, rank thinking is running in you. Rank thinking is the mind's attempt to feel safe. If you know where you stand, you know what to defend. The cost is that you cannot meet anyone, only your position relative to them. For one conversation today, do not rank yourself against the other person. That one runs while you are with people. The next runs while you are alone. The fourth disguises itself as research. The borrowed hunger. You finish a long day, sit down, and scroll for 40 minutes. Not entertained, not distracted. You are absorbing other people's lives like data, hoping to discover what yours should look like. The mind does not know the difference between watching and wanting. 40 minutes of scrolling becomes 40 minutes of low-grade craving for things you did not want before you started. Before you open the app, ask one question: what am I looking for? If you cannot answer, do not open it. That runs while you are alone. The next one runs in front of everyone, even when no one is there. The mind avoiding the present moment. You do not have 9 problems. You have one habit dressed in 9 costumes. Ayako, sitting on the floor of her grandmother's small wooden house, finally understood. The room had almost nothing in it. A low table, a single flower, a window, and her grandmother's mind was quieter than any room she had ever entered. The grandmother had not cleaned more. She had stopped filling. The fifth, the watching crowd. You rehearse the conversation before it happens. The presentation, the reply, the argument. Your body tenses as if you were already in the room. You are performing for an audience you have invented. Status anxiety does not require an actual audience. The mind generates one, then it performs for it. Most of the energy you spend in a day goes to people who are not in the room. Notice once today when you are performing for someone who is not present. Imagined audiences are the easier one to catch. The next one is much harder to put down. The sixth lives in another timeline. The other life, the parallel version of yourself you replay. You think about the version of you who took the other path, the job you didn't accept, the city you didn't move to, the relationship you did not stay in. You know the choice you made. You don't regret it. But you keep that other life on a shelf, taking it down every few weeks, examining it, putting it back. Future fantasies and alternative pasts feed on the same hunger. The refusal to fully inhabit the life you have. The other life is not real. The cost of carrying it is. When the parallel life appears, name 3 things in the room you are in. That is the version of you that did not happen. Now the voice that comments on the version that did. The 7th narrates from inside your own head. The inner critic. You sit down to do the work, and a voice begins commenting. Not loud, not cruel, just present. It says, "This will not be as good as last time." You have been doing this for years, and you still cannot get it right. The inner critic is not protecting you. It is rehearsing your failure so the failure feels less surprising. It is a tax the mind charges itself for trying. When the voice begins, name it as a voice, not as a fact. The 8th, the ledger. A running tally of what you have earned. If you cannot enjoy a meal without calculating whether you earned it, if rest feels like something you have to justify before you can have it, this one is running in you. The mind that keeps this ledger never gets to spend what it earns. The 9th is the deepest because it disguises itself as self-improvement. The editor. Late at night, you lie in bed and edit your day. The conversations get replayed with your lines rewritten. The emails get imagined as better versions. The decisions get revised backwards. This is the deepest costume soji asks you to take off because it looks so much like growth. It is not. It is the refusal to let any moment of your life be what it actually was. Tonight, write 1 sentence. This is what happened. It is allowed to stand. Ayako returned to Tokyo 2 days later. Her apartment looked the same. White walls, empty surfaces. But something had moved. She no longer needed her mind to be full to feel like a serious person. Soji had stopped being something she did to a room and become something she did with her mind. Not the removal of things, the refusal to keep bringing them in. Of these 9, which one have you been carrying the longest? Drop the name in the comments. Naming it is the first thing. Thank you for being here. Somewhere in a small wooden house, an old woman set a single flower in a clay vase. The room was nearly empty. Her mind was quieter still.